Puppet Portalcraft is a fairly new archetype that focuses on maintaining a presence throughout the game, and then finishing with a sudden burst of damage. Puppets are built up through followers like Automated Knight, Junk, and Flower Doll. Substitution is also a spell that has great removal and also provides one puppet. In order for a puppet player to win the game, he has to first do a decent amount of damage to the face through the early and mid game, and then finish up with a powerful win condition. One is Orcus, who has the ability to do 9 straight up face damage in a single turn. The first puppet summoned with her on the field is turned into a 1-1 with Ambush, and all other summoned transform into 3-2 marionettes with Storm. Not only do these 3-2 puppets threaten large amounts of damage, but also force the opponent to eliminate all of them, as they threaten to do even more damage next turn with a potential combination between a 3-2 and the 1-1 marionette, creating a 3-3 marionette also with Storm, but this one can attack 2 times per turn. The other possible win condition is Noah. While he doesn't have the same pressure the following turns like Orcus does, he has more potential face damage, dealing 11 through his effect that increases the attack of all the puppets in the user's hand by 1 while giving them Storm. Before the recent expansion, a pure non-hybrid Puppetcraft deck was not regarded as a playable one. It had a 2 out of 5 rating on GamePress and was simply just bad, as it lacked a decent mid-game and had no effective way of filling up its win condition through Noah or Orcus, as it usually couldn't do enough damage before late game turns. But Brigade of the Sky introduced multiple cards that solved many of Puppet Portalcraft's problems to make it a competitive deck in the current meta. Paracelsus is a new great addition to the deck that helps with defending the face from aggro decks, as when played on turn 4, it guarantees either a 3-3 rush or ward follower into your hand, which you can play on the same turn, as they are both very cost effective by only requiring 2 play points. That means that this card also has great synergy with Hamelin, a card that can duplicate any 3 play point or less follower in your hand. The new card Lococo Little Puppeteer is a big addition to the archetype as well. With 5 play points, it is not only an effective removal as it can transform any major threat into a harmless 1-3 teddy bear, but it also can guarantee at least 1 or 2 puppets in the process. Nicholas, Stalwart Inventor, is also an extremely useful card with a fanfare effect that guarantees a 5-5 follower with ward only after 3 turns. The card itself is also quite good on its own, as it has a 4-3 stat line while only costing 4 play points. The Enhance effect can also be very effective, especially if you have 2 copies of the card in your hand. For example, if on turn 7 you played a Nicholas, and then the next turn you played another Nicholas with the Enhance effect, you would effectively have 2 5-5 wards along with another 4-3 follower. This efficiency is what makes Nicholas a must-have card in a Puppetcraft deck. Basilius, Outworld Invader, is also a fantastic card for removal, as it has an effect similar to John, but instead of destroying all enemy followers with 3 defense or less, it banishes them. That means that it is not only a fantastic tech against King Arthur, but also card effects like from Charlotta are effectively useless. But the real threat that came from Brigade is Silva, Ardent Sniper. Her Accelerate effect summons any 3 play point follower or less from your hand with Rush, and also deals 1 guaranteed damage to the enemy face the first time you attack, every single turn from then on. Also, the effect stacks, so if you have a hand like this, it's basically game over. Especially in a deck like Puppet Portal, where attacking with puppets every turn is common, assuming you play this card on turn 3, by the time you've reached turn 12, the enemy face will have been dealt 10 damage. That's basically like being hit with a Lindworm, except you can do nothing to stop it. Not to mention that the follower herself has Ambush, so even if you top deck this card later on, she can still deal a huge amount of damage to the face. This card was a missing key to the success of Puppet Portalcraft, as it is a guaranteed way of dealing damage into the late game, when Noah or Orcus can finish it all in 1 or 2 turns. These are all cards that made Puppetcraft so good recently. It now has a 4 out of 5 rating on GamePress and is the top tier 2 deck on the Mana Surge website, only bested by Lionhaven, Tenko, and Midrange Sword. But with the recent nerfs coming onto Tenko and Midrange, Puppet Portalcraft is definitely going to be a tier 1 contender.